Hey everybody, this is Chris,
I'm Ben.
and this is Priority Traffic Podcast.
Today we're going over different tips and tricks as far as what we've seen in the fire station with health, wellness, diets, what you should be eating, what you should have in your cupboards, what you should be feeding your guys, and just different little lifestyle habits to adopt.
Absolutely. Thinking and eating around the firehouse is really quite a challenge, and I know that if it's in the firehouse, it's probably not going to be there for long because somebody's going to eat it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think I struggle the most with donuts.
Donuts. You're a donut guy?
I am, yes.
Yeah, I would say chips. I don't buy chips at home, but if there's an open bag of chips at the fire station and just sitting on the counter, I'm going to take a handful every single time. And I hate it because I know how bad they are for you, but Lord, do they taste good.
Yeah, we end up with a bag of Doritos at lunch, at dinner. They're typically out, and my hand has a gravitational pull right inside them.
Yeah.
And then I end up with them on my hand, and then they go right to my mouth.
Yeah, it's funny how that
It's
works.
really an awful thing.
Damn, just
Working on it.
Yeah, it's
So
small things.
yeah, what do we do to make better decisions around food in the firehouse? Like, it's kind of a trap.
Yeah, it's a double-edged sword for sure because you want the creature comfort, so it seems a lot like being at home. You like sometimes just being there, like not every day is a good day. You know, you can try to make it a good day, but like that's what people do. They try to make it more comfortable with food and like good presents, you know. But I don't think making it more comfortable with food is a good idea.
Yeah, we get presents all the time, and we really, really appreciate it when we do our job and somebody's like, I need to give you a gift for doing your job. And we're like, no, we don't need a gift. It's our job. This is what we sign up for. But they end up sending us stuff anonymously to the fire hall. And now we got this bag or this box full of bags and donuts.
Yeah, bags of chips, donuts, crackers, all that cool stuff. I think one of the best little protocols I've seen was midst of COVID. Our safety training officer, he'd stop by and he'd have a big old bowl of fruit for everybody. And he continued to do that for a long time. And then when he quit doing it, people were missing it, man. It's like people will eat what's there. And it's funny to see how people tend to like the healthy stuff.
Sure.
Because like fruit's awesome. It's good for you. People get caught up in the whole fibers, calories, but it's good for you.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
Fiber's good for you.
Yeah.
Makes you poop.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. If you're not sure, there's a poop scale. You should be hitting number 4s. Number 4s are the way to go. Check it out.
I don't know anything about that.
No, you'll have to Google it. I'm not pulling up pictures of Dookie.
I'm not Luke. I'm gonna take your word for it.
I'll put it in the show notes. It's a really easy way to make sure you're healthy. You notice your poop color, size, shape. If it floats, if it doesn't, there's a whole science to it. It's really good feedback for like immediate results. If you see blood, if it's getting weird, go to your doctor. That's all we're going to talk about.
Yeah, we're not doctors, but use a scale to figure it out.
Yeah, so
learn something new every day.
If there's not bad food in your pantry, you're going to have other options, and they'll likely be better, I would imagine.
Yeah.
And I know when we go to the store, we really, really try to get vegetables, fruits, a good protein, and not too much other crap.
Okay.
Less processed, the better.
Yeah.
Like if it's gone through a process, if it's gotten chopped up, it's been processed.
Yeah. It goes in a giant vat that gets spun around with a million other things.
Yes.
So it's not good.
My wife and I are talking about it today. It's like making a smoothie. I don't have any science or reference for this claim, but I heard through the grapevine, that's what they say, that when you blend up the food, it is actually less nutrient than if you were to just chew it on your own. Right. So that made me concerned. It's like, should I be chewing on my food, or is it still okay to get it put through a blender? So we got some research to do, but I'm pretty sure you need to be eating your food.
So I went and, not that I've done any research on it, but I've heard again through the grapevine, for those who say that, when you go and cook things, when things heat up, when like spinach heats up, right? Like spinach in my breakfast, toss a whole bunch of leaves in there, like
basically the whole bag.
Yeah, right. It just goes into nothing, right? And so whenever you cook something, you do lose nutrients versus eating raw spinach.
Okay.
So there's something to it. I don't know, maybe if it's you got one hell of a blender and just like goes to town.
I got a Vitamix.
Vitamix to rocks on
Dude,
it. You made peanut butter with that?
I haven't, but it could
Oh.
blend up rocks, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. No, yeah. You could if you hook that to your weed whacker, it would go to town.
Nice.
Yeah. But peanut butter. Kind of get the crappy peanuts, real oily.
Really?
It makes warm peanut butter, that with like some pretzels. Not healthy, but good. I'll say that. It's a snack.
Okay, so let's talk about snacks.
Okay.
I love snacks.
Me too.
And I try so every morning I'll get to work and I'll try, not every morning, but I try most mornings to eat a big bowl of oatmeal and whatever fruits in any of the fridges.
Mm-hmm.
If I can find some fruit, I'll leave some money in the fridge. I'm going to take a couple raspberries or strawberries or blackberries and I'll put them on my oatmeal.
Okay.
I eat that with butter.
Yeah.
That's my first meal of the day.
Is it like the pre-packaged, or is it like you get the giant tub of oatmeal?
So I'll get the tub of oatmeal and I'll get the quick oats.
Yeah.
At some point, you have to stop chasing the rabbit down the hole, right? Like we try and eat organic at home. It's hard. It's costly.
Yeah.
It's not easy. I don't expect to eat organic at work.
No.
I just expect to eat fruit, vegetables, and preferably less sugar than, a 12-year-old.
Yeah. So one thing I try to focus on, sorry, excuse me, when I was about 15 years old, I didn't grow up in a household where I like learned a lot about nutrients and diets, what you should be eating, how much you should be eating. It's just kind of, you have a plate and I want to see your plate clean by the time you're done.
Right.
Which something I didn't really pay too much attention to because like it made sense. Like we're not wasting any food. So
Right.
like we're fortunate enough to have this food, we're going to eat it. Well, looking back now, I'm 26 years old and it's almost a habit of how much food can you stuff in your mouth. Like if I put food on my plate, I'm going to finish it. I don't throw anything away. And the past couple months, something clicked in my head and I go, yeah, I don't have to do that. And I put my phone away when I eat. So I don't have anything really distracting me. I started eating a lot slower.
Sure.
And just paying attention to when I feel satisfied. And as soon as I'm satisfied, I wrap it up, put the food away, put it in the fridge. I'm sleeping better. I'm feeling better.
Yeah.
You don't have that like the rock in your stomach when you just overeat. It's like I was consistently overeating. So whenever I cook food, I cook it to how I like it.
Mm-hmm.
Most other people like it, and I will eat a lot of food.
Yeah.
Like I'm a big eater, man. Like gotta get the calories in.
The calories are important. I suffered from the same thing, and my wife did too, actually. Like, we both were, so as a almost 40-year-old adult, I've learned that a lot of the habits that I have came from doing things I was told to do when I wasn't thinking for myself.
Right.
And I think that has a lot to do with a lot of things. But clearing our plate, like my parents put vegetables and stuff on our plate. Eat your vegetables. Damn it, they weren't lying. Eat your vegetables, people.
Yeah.
But they would also make me clear my plate off. Well, that transfers into adulthood, and I'm putting bigger portions of meat and bigger portions of veggies and bigger portions of potatoes and more stuff on my plate. So now it's like I have this habit of clear your plate. But I don't need all that food.
No.
So I had to like recalibrate my portion size to stop clearing a plate of too much food. Like we overeat unintentionally, not to mention there's stress of our job. So there's other things causing us to overeat to satiate or, to do something. We're doing it for a reason. Yeah. Maybe we don't know why.
And so what I was going to tee off that is tee off my story. It's real hard at the fire station because like we just ran the 15,000th call of the year.
Geez.
Yeah. So it's like we're relatively busy. Food, you can get it interrupted almost religiously. You can almost guarantee you're going to break up a meal, right?
Right.
Big deal? Yes, no. But when you want to go and say, like, take your time eating, it's hard. Because, like, it's almost like sitting there with a pack of dogs. And, like, you see your plate, you finally got food on it. Let's kill this plate just so I know I have something where maybe it's dinner. I'll be good for the rest of the night.
Sure.
And so it's kind of hard to play off that. But it's a habit you can take home and you can consistently keep that habit going. You can consistently have a plate and you look at it and you can not have any distractions, not watch TV, not be on your phone, and have a good conversation with somebody sitting next to you. But as soon as you are satisfied and you eat nice and slow, put it away, man. There's no reason. Like, don't be a glutton.
Right. And I mean, so you really brought up a good point, but you need to be aware of, like, let's say at the station, you're chowing your meal because you know you have to get it in, and pay attention. Does your wife ever say, man, you are eating so fast? Do you ever finish your meal before a girlfriend or a wife? Like, the plates are there and all of a sudden you're done and they're just starting.
Yeah.
That has happened to me numerous times, and I had to really get present to when that happens. And so I have a couple tricks for that.
Okay.
Right. So dinner comes, cut it up, take a bite, put the fork down, and I don't get to take another bite until I'm done chewing. Okay. So there's two things. Now I have to chew. So objective 1 is chew all the way. Objective 2 is pick up the fork again and take another bite.
So I always go just locked and loaded. Put it in,
I
locked
used
and
to.
loaded, ready to go. Put it again.
So that's how I shoveled. So I had to
Yeah.
break that pattern. So I totally
good.
understand what you're saying. And my wife would point it out to me all the time. She's like, you are eating so fast. So fully chew your food and find ways to slow down, because slowing down is going to allow you to consume more food, chew it up, get all the nutrients, and not shovel extra food in. And you'll actually get to notice, I'm pretty sure if you eat slow, you notice that you get full sooner.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so that's a whole kind of when I looked into the reason why.
Sure.
You just feel satisfied sooner, but you're more attentive to how you feel.
Yeah, you're very
Yeah.
present to eating.
Yeah.
Like you're very in the moment, and you should be.
Yeah, so you're one of the most powerful senses in your body, obviously, is like your smell and your taste.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you have something that like, oh man, this meal's delicious, I'm gonna keep on eating it because that's overtaking the feel of like your stomach growing.
Right,
Like
yeah.
you see a going unbuckle your pants or you're eating at dinner
Mhm.
just to continue eating. You got an issue there,
Sure.
And so another tip and trick, going back to again when I started working out, 15 years old, didn't really know what to do.
You're ripping it.
Yeah, getting thick.
Yeah. Benching every day.
Yeah, that's it. Upper body every single day.
That's it.
That's what everybody starts with.
That's true.
The cool muscles, girls for the girls. That's what I said. So my cousin, he was like kind of like my Yoda when it came to lifting. He
Okay.
took me to the gym every day. I couldn't drive. He brought me there, showed me what to do, learn about chest days, leg days, all the balance.
Sure. Bodybuilder splits all day.
Exactly. That's how you start.
Right.
And he also told me when I got curious about dieting, he said, keep it simple, eat like a caveman.
Ooh.
Like, so back in the day, nothing's processed.
No,
go and you
exactly.
Get your veggies, you get your grains, and you get your meats.
Mm-hmm.
If you stay away from processed foods, how you're going to feel, how you're going to perform is tenfold better.
I would say.
And we're surrounded by a world of just ease, a world of processed foods, fast foods, Snickers, candy bars,
Sugar.
diet sodas, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
Diabetes. Pretty much.
Wilford Brimley diabetes.
Right. I mean, anybody in the fire service knows that you're running on people with diabetes once a day. I mean, give or take, right?
Yeah.
But pretty much everybody's got diabetes. And most of it's type 2.
Yeah.
And that is purely lifestyle.
Yeah. 100%.
Anyways.
Yeah, and some people, they don't have a choice. Like, I know diabetes runs in my family.
Sure, mine too.
And if you aren't careful with how you carry yourself, you could be the one giving yourself insulin shots
Right.
for the rest of your life. So it's like you pick your poison. What do you want to focus on?
Right.
Focus on medication later. You want to focus on just discipline now.
Right.
So something that hopefully that question has a little weight to it and people take that into consideration.
Absolutely.
But going on to dieting, let's talk about some healthy habits that you have. So you talked about buying organic, getting a lot of fruits, veggies,
Yep.
just real healthy meals around the house and kind of getting rid of the clutter and junk.
Yeah, man. If you don't have the garbage to snack on when you want to snack, and you've made better choices at the grocery store, that's really gonna start moving you in the right direction. It comes down to what you buy. It's the choices you make at that point of, I'm at the store, what do I buy? Are you
Okay.
gonna buy a thing of Oreos, or are you gonna buy a thing of mini carrots? Well, we do the mini carrots. We use them as treats for the dog and treats for Chris.
There you
So that's what I snack on.
Okay.
We don't have crap.
Nice. So some little lifestyle changes that you can make that just make it easier if you were to hop on a diet. That is something where you go to the grocery store, you pick up all the good things versus all the bad things.
Right.
Good as in healthy things.
Yeah, like
Not-
nutrient dense stuff.
Yes.
Stuff that's going to provide you, for your money, a lot of nutrients, probably not a lot of calories, so you can eat more of it.
Yeah.
Versus you eat a whole sleeve of Oreo cookies, and that's a lot of crappy food.
You'll be sick.
You'll feel sick probably.
Yeah.
But you probably had a good time.
I have, when I was working at my old apartment, had a real slow day, and I have one heck of a sweet tooth.
Mhm.
Not real disciplined back then. Bought a whole pack of Chips Ahoy and like a half gallon of milk. I was sitting there just gaming, and dipping those cookies in milk, and I killed the entire thing, and I puked later that night.
Oh, you threw up?
Yeah, not at a fire, nothing, just on its own.
Just your body said you're an idiot.
Yeah, I paid for it 100%.
Wow,
and I've
amazing.
never done it. Obviously, I've never done it since, but that was the first time I've ever done it, and that was the last time I've ever done it. That was a glutton moment. It felt sweet at the time.
Sure.
Sweet.
And I suffer from having a sweet tooth occasionally as well, and I like gummy worms and gummy bears, like sugar stuff.
Yep.
So if I do have them, I've kind of altered that habit as well. So if I'm going to have them, they're my pre-workout snack.
Nice.
Right? Or if I just got done with a burner and we're like, we got a house fire that we're going to, I'll throw a handful of those in or run to the refrigerator that we have and grab a Coca-Cola and chug like half of it.
Nice.
Just to get some quick carbs in to, timing.
Yeah.
They're going to be what I use for work.
Yeah.
And then obviously I'll throw a hand of gummy bears in, hit the Coke can, and they'll say, smoke on the stove, careless cook, everybody cancel. Like, oh God.
Yeah, wasted it.
What a waste. So
but it felt so good.
Right.
Yeah, so let's go into diets that we've seen around the fire station. There's a lot of different fads, and there's new diets in and out all the time. I mean, that's the most popular ones probably right now would be
keto.
Keto.
That's
a lot of bacon and cheese.
Yeah, man. The keto thing came around. It's been around. I don't have a lot of information on it, but I know it was a diet that was developed to help treat an actual thing. I think it's MS. But when we talk about diet, I personally think that what you take in, like your food and your hydration, that's your diet. Whether it's prescribed to be like keto or South Beach or Long Beach or whatever those other fads are. There's a high calorie or low fat, high protein. And I think high protein's good, but there's just like diet is just what you eat.
Yeah.
And not even to stop at that, but diet is what you listen to and what you read and the people you are around and the movies you watch and the music you listen to and the thoughts you think. That's for me, I think everything's connected. So that's in my world, that's diet.
Okay.
Just focus in specifically on food. That makes sense too. So what we put in our mouth is very important. Yeah,
absolutely. Especially if you want to go and you're one of these like performance athletes or what I consider us as tactical athletes, And so looking at diets, I'm going to say simplicity of it is calories in, calories out. There's a million different fads. There's a million different keto, intermittent fasting. Oh, man. You take your pick.
Intermittent fasting is pretty cool. But yeah, there's a ton of ways to change there's a bunch of perspectives on food and what you put in your mouth and in your body.
Right. And I'd say it's like keto. You, at the end of the day, with keto, intermittent fasting, those are just two that I've done.
Okay.
So we'll just kind of tee off those. Yeah, and I don't want to talk on behalf of other things I haven't done. So keto, intermittent fasting, at the end of the day, it's your calorie intake versus what you're burning that day. That's going to be diet across the board for everything you do. And keto, I found myself eating a lot of bacon and a lot of cheese, which I know probably isn't the best thing for you, but I still lost weight because it's the calories in versus calories out.
So you're taking in less calories based on the principles of the ketogenic diet.
Yes, and I don't think I never did my blood test. I never saw if I got any ketosis.
Right, you weren't checking your urine with a dipstick and
no, but there's a blood test you can do that now. So it's like a little glucometer, but
you don't got to make a mess in the bathroom.
No, I'm not gonna do that in the first place, right?
Sorry.
So your diet, calories in versus calories out. That's the main focus. And you can go and figure out. There's a million different calculators online. Google it, and you can find exactly based on your height, your weight, how active you are, how many calories you should be taking.
Okay.
So figure out that. That's going to be a nice, rough baseline. It's not something to start off right off the rip and say, I'm going to follow this. This is the scripture. No, it's where you start, and you can kind of see the next week where it kind of puts you.
Sure.
And so then the next step for the next week, just walk into trying to track what you eat from day to day, snacks, meals, everything. Live normal for 3 days. Have like an app, MyFitnessPal. There's, again, a million different things you can go and track. I think I use my macros.
Okay.
Super easy. Scan the barcode. It throws everything in there. If not, you can go and search up the meal.
So you'll take the app and scan the box?
Yep. whatever it comes in.
Wow.
So like if you have eggs,
It's fancy.
like take a picture, throws in every little macronutrients.
Oh, nice. Okay.
It's going to say the calories for that. And I'm not one to really count my macros.
Okay.
Unless I'm on a specific diet like the keto.
Right. Like you have a goal, like
Yes.
your performance goal.
Yes,
For sure.
exactly. So unless I'm on like, I have this goal following this diet, I'm not going to follow macros. I'm going to look at calories. And so I would say get an app that calculates all your calories. I can keep track of them.
Mm-hmm.
For 3 days, eat normal, but track everything. Track your water, track your sodas, track your candy bars. Even if you go, oh man, this isn't going to look good on there. We're trying to be honest with ourselves and see where our baseline is. So track it.
Absolutely.
See where you are for 3 days. If you're over where you should be, then maybe you start dialing it down a little bit. So where can we cut some things out? Look at what you ate over the last 3 days.
Right.
All right, man, I didn't really need that Snickers. I didn't really need that like frappe from Starbucks. It could have gone black coffee. I drink black coffee all the time. And get as close as you can to that baseline. If you realize that you're under eating, maybe it's time to focus on having some like really good nutrient food, like steaks, rice, unprocessed foods.
Veggies, greens.
Yes, to help get you to that baseline that this app showed you that you should have, this website showed you that you should have. And maybe you're not losing weight because you're under eating. Maybe you're not gaining weight, putting on muscle because you're under eating.
Right.
Maybe you feel like crap because you're under eating.
Yeah, you're tired. You're like, man, I can't hit my back squats. Why?
Yeah,
like,
or you're just fatigued all the time mentally.
Yeah.
And that happens
Absolutely.
Very few people are running that baseline all the time of where they should be. Majority of people are either over or under.
Okay.
And I don't know why, but that's what it seems to be. Like whenever I talk to friends that are on diets and they kind of follow this little protocol, they find out they're either under or they're substantially over.
So were they, before they started, were they even aware of their baseline, like their basal needs, metabolic rate?
No. So I mean, a lot of people, very few people track calories.
Right.
You know, most time they look at a diet and they go, okay, I got to have this meal, 6 ounces of chicken, 4 cups of rice. I'm going to do that 4 times a day.
Right. And that's going to be like 2,500 calories a day.
Yes. And you better be pretty active. And like, yeah, you're going to gain weight. You're eating 6 meals a day.
Yeah.
That's cool. But you should probably be a little bit lower and you can live a normal life without being so structured.
Sure.
If you want to hit these goals or you're going to physique competition, you got to eat 6 times a day. They got to be at the same time. And you have to eat the most dense, nutrient dense food there is because you're getting the bang for the buck.
Sure.
But you're also competing against the people that are doing the same thing.
Well, you're likely training to this standard that is beyond, because you're hoping to peak. So you only have to train, let's say, 16 weeks. So you can commit to suffering in that pain cave for 16 weeks.
Yeah.
And you're really strict with yourself, but that's not like 365 days a year. Like
exactly.
We're on all the time. We don't have a peak season. We don't have a game time.
Right. Yeah. We're never training for the Super Bowl. Every day could be the Super Bowl at work.
Exactly.
And so what we're kind of throwing out here is just like lifestyle tips, things that you can go to make your life easier, get a little bit healthier. And if you want to go and follow a diet, feel free. There's a million good diets. People love them. But I'm just going to say the first 2 weeks are the hardest.
Sure.
Once you get past the first 2 weeks, it's a breeze, especially if you're kind of on this regimen of doing the same thing day in, day out. You're tracking your calories. And after 2 weeks, you start seeing a little bit of change.
Sure.
If you've been good and you've been disciplined, and that's where the motivation comes in for most of the people.
Absolutely.
And besides that,
so with that 2 week period that you're starting to suffer and you're not eating all the good food and you're realizing you miss everything, like if you can push through those first 2 to 4 weeks where your results aren't coming, the results will start coming. You have to pay what I would just say like is a little bit of debt off. You have to pay that off before you get to start losing the weight. So there's a latency period between when you change your diet, right? Like
yeah, absolutely.
You're still paying the man because you ate all those Doritos, so you have to like let that happen. And then 3 or 4 weeks of reduced calorie or appropriate calorie with high quality foods, that's going to actually produce results. But it's not going to happen in 1 week or 2 weeks. Like you have to be committed.
Yeah.
And it's really that simple. Be consistent, make better choices, and try to eat your veggies.
Yeah. I think it's consistency that can, like my rule of thumb for having a happy life and still being somewhat healthy.
Right.
I consider myself as a healthy person. I don't eat crap 24/7,
Right.
you know, but even when I was on a diet and I was following intermittent fasting, I'd go 5 and 2. So 5 days a week, I'd be really good.
Mm-hmm.
And then usually on the weekends, you want to have fun with your friends, go out to dinner, maybe have a drink,
Yeah.
And so was the easiest balance for me with maintaining my life as like a happy life where I don't want my entire life to be about what I eat.
Right.
Nobody does. And it's not going to be consistent for anybody. Somebody's going to fall off the bandwagon. And if it was a terrible time, they're not going to hop back on.
Right.
Why would you?
Right.
And so, that 5 and 2 is a good rule of thumb. Going over things that are kind of tricks to society. Diet sodas, terrible.
Yeah. Lay off the pop.
Yeah.
That's it.
And even like if say, well, I like the cherry Coke and but I decided to swap it out for Diet Coke.
Oh yeah.
Diet Coke's terrible. Why? It has aspartame, the NNS, non-nutritive sweetener, I think it is.
Yep.
And all that does is lead to many different diseases. Why? Because it's artificial sweetener.
Right.
Which your brain needs sugar. It's going to get it from fruits. It's going to get it from natural foods. Yep. If you go and trick it and thinking it's getting 200 times the sugar it's supposed to get, but it's not getting any, all it's going to make you do is want to eat more snacks.
Right.
Because your body's not getting the sugar it needs.
Right. Yeah, your brain needs glucose to operate.
Yeah, and so you're tricking yourself, and you're kind of playing yourself for a fool, and now you're going to go and chase donuts.
Right.
Sweet. What a good trade.
I know.
So some things you can swap out for is, you ever heard of stevia?
Stevia, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So is it Zevia or stevia, the drink, the soda?
Oh, so there's a brand.
Yeah.
Called Zevia.
Zevia.
I thought you said stevia, the sugar supplement, which it's a different type of sugar, but still natural.
So same thing. They put the stevia in the Zevia.
Oh, wow.
So stevia is a little sugar packs, and that's they pull that out of the plant, the stevia plant.
Yeah, okay.
Which it's really good for you. Still a NNS, but healthier than aspartame.
Right.
This Zevia is a soda, which tastes really good.
Nice.
And just uses that natural sweetener. So that's a really good alternative because there's no aspartame in it. And if you need some kind of kick like that, go for it.
Sure.
Like, give it a shot. Maybe it's a little bit different than your Mountain Dews and your Cokes, but it's something that you can throw in your lifestyle and feel good about.
Absolutely. And if you're not drinking water, guys, let's just start drinking like water every day.
That's a good rule of thumb.
I think that needs to be rule number 2 next to try to get more sleep.
Yeah.
But we can talk about sleep on another episode, I think.
Yeah.
So like Ben is saying, we just have to make better choices when we're at the store, when we're going to the pantry. If there's not bad options, we can't make bad choices, right? Yeah. You want better choices, have better options. And I think that's a really good place to wrap it up for today. I think we've had a lot of good suggestions, and just from our experience, you can definitely handle your nutrition. You just need to put it at the top of your list for priorities. And when it comes down to making those choices of what foods to buy, right? Vegetables, fruits, proteins, unprocessed foods, and just don't eat as much. I think that
about wraps
pretty
it up.
good,
yeah.
right?
And we'll go into topic on we'll go into more specific detail on later episodes, but as far as getting this general information out there, you can change the rest of your 2023 and the rest of your 2022 and the beginning of your 2023 just by implementing some of these things.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, wrap her up, man.
Absolutely. Well, this is Chris.
I'm Ben.
And thank you guys so much for listening to Priority Traffic Podcast. Check us out on Facebook. You're probably watching the YouTube, but if you're not, check us out on YouTube. And don't forget to click that like and subscribe button. Turn on your notifications so YouTube tells you when we upload our stuff. We appreciate you guys watching. Thank you and have a great day.
Thank you.